Okay, so here we are back inside of Flash. I'm going to go to File, Import, Import to Stage. So we're bringing in that piece of artwork that I just created. And so that is going to be on my desktop under Captivate Videos. And here's the source file. It's set to all openable formats. And you can see David is gigantic. Q is the distortion or free transform tool. Q. Also, if you have Q selected, you're going to want to go over to here, and you see you have this thing that looks like a horseshoe magnet. You want to disable that. And you also want to go into your view. And your view has got something called snapping, and you need to disable these snaps. These are really useful for graphic design where you want to create tangents and lead things to different areas. They're very architectural tools, but for animation we want to have a little more capacity. Now, with this free transform tool, you can see it's just able to kind of freely move stuff around. Command Z, or on a Macintosh, that's going to be Command Z. Or Control Z on a PC is going to get you to be able to do about 20 undos in this program automatically. If you hold down the Shift key, right, the Shift key, and then click on the edge of this, you want to make sure that you don't have this rotation, circular spinning thing selected, but this kind of just handles right there. You can shrink this down to a size that's going to fit on your screen a lot more conveniently. I forgot there was nudity in this piece of artwork, so I do apologize for the inappropriateness of this, but you are all art school students. I'll just have to remember to set my parental controls on YouTube to adult, probably. How ridiculous is that? Let me hit V. V as in victory, to get back to the select tool. And what we're going to do is we are going to modify this particular document. We're going to use something called modify. You can see at the top menu here, modify. Oh, that's just my wife's animal clock. It is now polar bear o'clock on the clock, so that's what's causing that. If I go from modify to bitmap, there's something called trace bitmap. Those of you that use Illustrator, you probably use this a lot. But if you bring something in and you want to turn it into a Flash document, this is the best way to handle it. I'm going to want to knock this minimum area down to about 4. Corner threshold, I'm going to want to knock up to many corners, and a curve fit for normal to tight. Probably not very tight. Color threshold of 100 might be a little conservative because some of this white is touching David's shoulders, so you may see me have to modify this a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And you can see that happened real fast. And I got this really nice kind of quality of this. As I suspected, as I click on this paint that David is made out of, you can see that he loses a little bit of what's on him, so we're going to have to go back and fill that. But I can hit delete to get rid of that. Now, right now, my background is contrasting in no way whatsoever with parts of this character's body. So I'm going to go to where it says modify at the top, modify, and we're going to modify our document to kind of give us something a little better to use. So you can see all that stuff there. It's right here where it says stage color. So I'm going to go to stage color and set stage color to kind of like a blue. I just use this blue because it's easy for me to see against. One of my early projects in Flash was underwater sequence. So I use this. I'm just selecting these pieces and deleting them. I'm going to then zoom in. Again, zoom is not quite what it used to be in this program. A couple of things have changed. I'm going to use something called paint behind to paint this upper bit of his shoulder that's missing. So what I'll do is select over here the brush tool. And you can see over in the far corner there's this thing that says brush mode. Brush mode. It looks kind of like a worm crawling over a petri dish. I'm going to select paint behind, and I'm going to go to my paint bucket and select white. And this brush is way too darn small. And so we'll just go over to here. And the neat thing about this is that paint will go right behind the rest of him. paint will go right behind the rest of him as well. So I'm just going in and kind of cleaning up a few spots where we lost stuff. So paint behind is marvelous how it gets rid of stuff. And, oops, didn't mean to paint there. Command Z, get rid of that. This business down here by his feet, I'm probably going to use the polygonal lasso tool, just like in Photoshop, to go in and select this, because I can tell by looking at it that that's just kind of like a really difficult series of tones for me to get through. Unfortunately, he kind of has some of his toes amputated here, so that'll have to be modified and fixed after the fact. Okay, right down to these toes here. So I'm just building a selection around there. You can see this is highlighted, and I'm going to hit the backspace, hit V, and select this little bit here. Hit the backspace, and I'm going to go back to the lasso tool. That's also L. L is in lasso to bring it up if you want to use it that way. And this will give us just a nice way to select that, hit backspace. Now if you recall earlier, when I first had this piece, it may have been one solid bit of symbol or of group. It might have been like this, where I'm going to hit Command G or Control G on a PC to group it all. So with it's all grouped, you can see I can't select it. So if you have something like that, just remember to hit Command B to break it apart, so everything is checkerboarded like this, and things will work well for you.